Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya
Jaya Dvaita
Nityananda
Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai Sri
Jai
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai
Jai
Sri Prabhupada ki Jai
Jai
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Hare
Jai
Krishna dear devotees, welcome to
Krishna.
today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 2, and this chapter is entitled The Ecstatic Manifestations of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this chapter, we are seeing a synopsis of the pastimes performed by the Lord, by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during the last 12 years of his earthly Leela. And these pastimes in the last 12 years are known as Antya-Leela. So far we saw how at this time Mahaprabhu is not in external consciousness, and all symptoms of ecstasy experienced in separation in Vipralamba Bhav are manifested in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how his body in one moment becomes expanded and in another moment it becomes very thin. There's blood oozing from every pore of his skin. And then how he's not able to sleep even for a moment in the night, whether day or night, at every moment he's experiencing separation. His mood is just like Srimati Radharani's mood when Krishna left Vrindavan. So when Uddhava went to see the Brajbasis, the way he found Srimati Radharani's state, that is the exact state of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during these last 12 years. So also the transformations in the body of Mahaprabhu that are seen, they're not to be found in any other person in the entire creation, because these transformations are the result of Mahabhav, which is found only in Srimati Radharani. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being Krishna himself, with the mood of Srimati Radharani, has this Mahabhav. Therefore, these transformations are seen. So you wouldn't be able to see these transformations anywhere in this world, but by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, devotees were able to see these transformations. And he would also be, there are three doors to his room, Gambhira, and devotees would keep them locked so that Mahaprabhu wouldn't, because of his ecstasies, when he goes out, he may not hurt himself. But still, they found, even though the doors were locked, sometimes they would find him in front of Simhadwaram, fallen, or sometimes in the sea, they would find him in the night. So in this way, Mahaprabhu exhibited various ecstatic symptoms, and in his mind, what was the state? He was feeling vacant, right? Shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahiname. That was the state. The whole world was appearing void, and Mahaprabhu was experiencing great disappointment and hopelessness, that will he ever be able to see Krishna? Will he ever be able to get the association of Krishna? Like that. And when he was going through such emotions, he would recite the verses from Sri Ramananda Rai's Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. So that is what we are reading. In Jagannath Vallabha Nataka, we see Srimati Radharani's feelings in separation. So Mahaprabhu is thinking, where is my Lord? Who will help me? Who will understand my suffering? And without Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, my heart is broken, like that. And he's reciting, while feeling like this, he's reciting these verses from Jagannath Vallabha Nataka, these verses which are spoken by Srimati Radharani. So we saw yesterday the two verses spoken by Srimati Radharani in the drama. Our Krishna does not realize what we have suffered from injuries inflicted in the course of loving affairs. Krishna doesn't know how much we have to suffer because of loving him. We are actually misused by love because love does not know where to strike and where not to strike. Even Cupid does not know of our very much weakened condition. What should I tell anyone? No one can understand another's difficulties. Our life is actually not under our control. For youth will remain for 2 or 3 days and soon be finished. In this condition, O Creator, what will be our destination? Text 19. Srimati Radharani spoke thus in distress due to separation from Krishna. Oh, what shall I say of my distress? After I met Krishna, my loving propensities sprouted. But upon separating from him, I sustained a great shock, which is now continuing like the sufferings of a disease. The only physician for this disease is Krishna himself, but he is not taking care of this sprouting plant of devotional service. So I'm in a diseased condition. Because of separation from Krishna, I'm in a diseased condition. But this disease cannot be, can only be cured by the expert physician. Who's that? That is Krishna. He's the medicine and he's the physician. But unfortunately, the doctor is not taking care of me. Then what is hope for me to recover from this disease? He's not taking care of this sprouting plant of devotional service. What can I say about the behavior of Krishna? Outwardly, he is very attractive young lover, but at heart he is a great cheat, very expert in killing others' wives. So next, further, text 20. सखी है ना बुझिए विधिरा विधान सुख लागी कैलुम प्रीता होइलो दुख विपरीता एबे जाय ना रोहे parana. Srimati Radharani continued lamenting about the consequences of loving Krishna. My dear friend, I do not understand the regulative principles given by the Creator. I loved Krishna for happiness, but the result was just the opposite. I am now in an ocean of distress. It must be that now I am going to die, for my vital force no longer remains. This is my state of mind. So that is why yesterday I was telling you about Gopakumar's condition. To the devotee in this situation, it feels like he's in great distress, right? Unbearable pain, difficult, unbearable distress, disappointment, frustration. But at the same time, it is the highest ecstasy. And then he becomes confused. He becomes confused. Am I, am I doing the right thing, right? Of course, Srimati Radharani's condition is the highest, right? So Srimati Radharani is feeling, I'm going to die now. I cannot even live. That's her state. But simultaneously, they experience the highest nectar. So that's why they become confused. What is this? So here, Srimati Radharani is saying that I do not understand the regulative principles given by the Creator. I loved Krishna for happiness, but the result was just the opposite. I am in an ocean of distress. By loving Krishna, we should become happy, but I'm in an ocean of distress. This is called Vipralambha Bhav. It must be that now I am going to die, for my vital force no longer remains. This is my state of mind. Kutila prema aga age ageyana nahi jane sthana sthana alo manda nare vicharite Krura shathera guna dore hate gale bandhi more rakhi ache nari ukashite. By nature, loving affairs are very crooked. They are not entered with sufficient knowledge. Nor do they consider whether a place is suitable or not. Nor do they look forward to the results. By the ropes of his good qualities, Krishna, who is so unkind, has bound my neck and hands, and I am unable to get relief. So, let's just look at the sequence of verses and try to understand. Okay. So, Srimati Radharani is saying that we have suffered injuries, previous verses, inflicted in the course of loving affairs. We are actually misused by love. We are misused by love. And then now Srimati Radharani is saying that the nature of loving affairs is very crooked. Why? Because when one falls in love, he falls in love without sufficient knowledge, right? So, of course, in this world, there is no love, it is only lust. You just see a perverted reflection of love. Love is only possible with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not possible, but that propensity of loving is there. Lust means that natural propensity of the living entity to love is misplaced in other objects, in objects other than the Supreme Lord. Then it becomes lust. But loving propensity is there in the living entities. So, the principle of love is when you love, when you fall in love, what happens? You don't think with your, with your brains that what are the consequences? Is this going to be profitable or not? Is this going to. When you fall in love, we don't consider any of these things. You just fall in love. So Srimati Radharani is saying, by nature, loving affairs are very crooked. You enter into it without knowledge, right? Without proper knowledge, you just enter into it. That's one thing. They are not entered with sufficient knowledge. The loving affairs are not entered with sufficient knowledge. Nor do they consider these loving affairs, they don't consider whether a place is suitable or not. Nor do they look forward to the results, right? It's not in material dealings. When you do something, you think of the consequences. Is it going to be profitable or not? And what problems are going to come if I take up this project? And based on that, you make a decision. But in loving affairs, you don't consider anything. You don't look forward to the results. You're just there in the moment. You don't consider whether a place is suitable or not. And also, you enter into such loving affairs without sufficient knowledge. So Srimati Radharani is saying, like this, I fell in love with Krishna because of his good qualities, his wonderful qualities. I didn't consider what is going to be the consequence of giving my heart to Krishna like this. But now I'm bearing the consequence of that. See, by the ropes of his good qualities. So, seeing his good qualities, I fell in love. That means his good qualities are like the ropes that tied me up to him. How I got tied up, my neck and hands are tied up. That means I'm completely helpless. I'm immovable. I cannot do anything now. I cannot become free because I fell in love, not considering the consequences. But I fell in love with the wrong person who is so unkind, right? I fell in love with the wrong person because he just left us like that. Text 22. Ye madana tanuhina paradrohe paravina pacha bana sandhe anukshana abalara sharire vindhi koila jara jare dukkha deya naloya jivana. In my loving affairs, there is a person named Madana. His qualities are thus. Personally, he possesses no gross body, yet he is very expert in giving pains to others. See, unless you have a gross body, you cannot have pains, right? To inflict pain on someone, he should have a gross body. When you have a body, gross body, then you can punish that person, right? Therefore, those who are taken to hell, they also have a body. It's called yatana sharira. Yatana sharira means that body is meant to give you suffering. That means in spite of giving the most severe type of pain, you don't die. That's yatana sharira. Here in this world, there is a limit of how much pain your body can handle. If you exceed that pain, then the soul leaves the body. The soul cannot stay in that body. But in yatana sharira, extreme pain. For example, you are put in hot boiling oil and you still live. But the pain is there. The body is undergoing all that pain. But you don't die. You just live and keep suffering. This is yatana sharira. That means you need a gross body to suffer pain. So Srimati Radharani is saying, in my loving affairs, there is a person named Madana. His qualities are thus, he personally has no body. So Madan, Cupid, is also called Ananga. Ananga means who has no body. You know the history that about Cupid or Madana or Manmatha. Uh, once, so he shoots arrows at people, right? And then when he shoots his arrows at people, then in their heart they get these lusty desires, what they call in this world, you fall in love when Cupid shoots his arrows at your heart, they say. So he shoots arrows, but once he shot an arrow at the heart of Lord Shiva, and because of this, Lord Shiva was absorbed in meditation. And when Cupid shot the arrow, Lord Shiva opened his third eye, and by that, Cupid's body just disappeared. Not that he was burned to ashes. Normally, we see, recently we were reading about that Bhagirath, right? How Kapil Dev, when he looked at the sons of Sagara, the 60,000 sons of Sagara, they were going to attack him, thinking that he stole the horse. And when they raised their weapons and they went to attack, he opened his eyes and all of them were burned to ashes. So they lay there in piles of ashes. But in the case of Cupid, there was not even ashes. His body just disappeared. And since then, he's just living without a body. That is why another name of Cupid is Ananga. No Anga, Ananga. Okay. So here, uh, of course, Srimati Radharani is talking about the transcendental Cupid, that is Krishna, not the material Cupid in this world. But Srimati Radharani is saying, in my loving affairs, there is a person named Madana. His qualities are thus. Personally, he possesses no gross body, yet he is very expert in giving pains to others. He has no body, but he's expert in giving pains to others. How? He shoots his arrows at people's hearts, right? Madana shoots his arrows and then he gives them pain, right? Because then they fall in love and then there is separation and they're suffering. But he himself, you cannot give him pain because he has no body, but he gives pains to others. Personally, he possesses no gross body, yet he is very expert in giving pains to others. He has 5 arrows, and fixing them on his bow, he shoots them into the bodies of innocent women. Thus these women become invalids. It would be better if he took my life without hesitation, but he does not do so. He simply gives me pain, right? So when you shoot an arrow, you remember Mrigari the hunter. What was his habit? He would shoot arrows, pierce animals in the forest, but his intention is not to kill them immediately. After piercing, he will just let them stay like that for several hours, writhing with pain. They are not able to die and they are not able to live in peace. And after he gives them a slow, painful death. That's why Narad Muni said, this is so bad. If you are a hunter and this is all you know, you want to hunt, then just kill them at once. Why you are half killing them? So that is very, very painful. So here Srimati Radharani is saying, this Madana, he has 5 arrows, 5 types of arrows, which he shoots at innocent women, but he doesn't kill them, right? He just pierces their hearts, and then they are suffering, and they are not able to die, and they are not able to live in peace. It would be better if he had just killed them like that. Thus, these women become invalids. When they're shot with these arrows, they become invalids, right? Not able to move. It would be better if he took my life without hesitation, but he does not do so. He simply gives me pain, like that. अन्येरये दुःखमने अन्यतः नहि जाने सत्य ए शास्त्रेर विचारे अन्य जन कहा लिखी न जाना ये प्राण सखी जाते को है धैर्य धरि बारे. In the scriptures it is said that one person can never know the unhappiness in the mind of another. So even in Hindi it is said, जिस पे बीतता है वही जानता है. That means one who is undergoing that pain, only he understands what that pain is. You can have a theoretical understanding, right? Or externally you may say, oh, I feel sorry for you. But actually no one else can understand unless that person has gone through the same pain himself, right? Unless that person has gone through the same pain himself, it's not possible for someone to understand what a person is going through, what is his pain. That's the point. So, in the scriptures, it is said that one person can never know the unhappiness in the mind of another. There's a nice statement also in Srimad Bhagavatam. We see, Lord Indra. Lord Indra and the demigods go to Dadhichi Muni. Yes, Mataji, Achutpriya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, that's very true. Like recently when my mother-in-law, at the last stage, we were not knowing what she was going through, but she was unable to express also,
Yes,
that kind of, we cannot externally, yes, that we can just pray. We just need to pray, that's all. Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So Dadhichi Muni, when Vritrasur was created by, what is the name of Vritrasur's father? Tvashta, right, Tvashta. So when Vritrasur was created, why? Because Indra had killed Tvashta's son, Vishwarup. Vishwarup had gone to, demigods approached Vishwarup to perform a yagya on behalf of Indra to help the demigods. And even though Vishwarup's mother was from the demon's family, he accepted. And he was doing yagya for Indra. But because of his affection for his mother's side family, he would also offer some grains to the demons. When Indra found out about this, he cut off the head of Vishwarup. out of anger. And Vishwarupa is a Brahmana. So Tvashta, when he came to know of this, he became very angry. He wanted to kill Indra. So he performed a yagya and created another son, Vritrasura, who will kill Indra, like that. So then Vritrasura, when after he was created, he went to fight, and the demigods were in a very precarious condition. They were fighting, but they were only getting defeated. They couldn't defeat or kill Vritrasura. Then they prayed to Lord Brahma. Or maybe Lord Vishnu, I'm forgetting now exactly. But then they were advised, you go to Dadichi Muni. Ask Dadichi Muni to give his bones. And with that bone, with his bones, when you make a weapon, the Vajra, with that, when you kill, you'll be able to kill Vritrasura. So the demigods went to Dadichi Muni, asking him for his bones. So Dadichi Muni said, you don't understand the pain of death. That is why you're very easily asking me. Giving you my bones means I have to go through death. I have to give up my life to give you my bones so that you can survive. But you don't understand the pain. That's why you're very easily asking. But then the demigods also said, actually, to go and beg in front of someone like this, it's not easy. It's very, very painful. Still, we are coming and, begging you. You don't understand who is begging. Indra, the king of the demigods, somebody who's so exalted, such a high position and power, for him to humble himself in front of someone like a beggar, it's not easy. How painful it is for that person. So you don't understand his pain. That's why you're talking like this. So this is said in Srimad Bhagavatam there. Of course, Dadichi Muni was just testing them. Eventually, he gives his bones, and Vritrasura gets killed. But the point that nobody understands another's pain. That's why you're able to go and ask that person. In this case, give me your bones. Or that person is saying, how can I give you my bones? You don't understand my pain, because he doesn't understand the pain of the person who is begging. So like that, here also Srimati Radharani is saying that in the scriptures it is said that one person can never know the unhappiness in the mind of another. What is the pain that another person is going through? You cannot understand. Therefore, what can I say of my dear friends Lalita and the others? Nor can they understand the unhappiness within me. If nobody can understand, see, who are Lalita and the Sakhis, they're actually just different forms of Srimati Radharani. There are different forms of Srimati Radharani, right? But still, they cannot understand Srimati Radharani is saying. If they cannot understand, then who can understand, right? So Srimati Radharani is saying nobody can understand the pain of another person. Therefore, what can I say of my dear friends Lalita and the others? Nor can they understand the unhappiness within me. They simply try to console me repeatedly, saying, dear friend, be patient. Dear friend, be patient. Right? Even they cannot understand like that. So, yeah, maybe we can stop here. It's 4:15. But these are the verses from Ramananda Rai's Jagannath Vallabha Nataka, in which Srimati Radharani is speaking these verses in separation from Krishna. I'm just seeing how many more verses are there in this drama. Yeah, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Oh, there's a lot of verses being spoken. 34. More are there. Yeah. So we are seeing the state of mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the verses spoken by Srimati Radharani in Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.